Hi again, it's me. So in this episode, I just wanted to talk about more ways that you can actually cut your strands. But before I get into it, it's really important that you watch the last video because I kind of talked about why cords become attached in the first place. And I recently started A Course in Miracles. I don't know if you guys have heard of this book, if maybe you have studied. If you follow Gabrielle Bernstein or Marianne Williamson, they are also very big teachers of A Course in Miracles. And a lot of the people in our lives that have wronged us, hurt us, keep our blood boiling, where we find hate sometimes in our heart, they not only do we have cords to them, which is why I'm talking about this, but also there's a lot more to it. You know, we need to recognize in ourselves that we are completely in charge of our lives, of our power, of our reactions, and the worst things in life come from really anger. Like, really, what is more, or like being disgusted or being like someone wronged you so much, like that feeling is like one of the worst feelings that we could possibly feel, right? And that's when we give away our power. So it's like really about taking responsibility for ourselves and our action, but also finding it in ourselves to forgive these people. And it's not saying that what they did or what they are doing is right in any way, shape, or form. It's just really releasing ourselves from the grip that these negative emotions like hold over us, that these people hold over us when we give them the power to do so, right? And then it's also really about acknowledging really the lessons that we've learned, right? In my experience, I have found with some of the people that I feel like have wronged me or are bad people, um, really they've taught me self-worth. They've started to teach me boundaries, which I didn't have any before. So you really have to look at it in such a way that they are here to make you grow, right? And our goal here, and I think maybe I'd like to start giving lessons on the Course in Miracle eventually, is basically, sorry, it's hard to find the words sometimes, especially I just came from work, so I'm just like, oof, I get to see the Backstreet Boys tomorrow night, so I'm very excited about that. Totally off topic, but it's just really about getting to a point where either they are out of your lives, because that's where your journey ends up taking you, or you are completely unaffected by them, right? When you're unaffected by them, all these things that they're doing, you are like, say you see them at family parties, or they're from a mutual friend, or they're at work, you know, if you see them, you become affected by them. So the whole point of the forgiveness and taking back your own power and doing this energy cord cutting work is that you are unaffected by them, because that's what's really bothering you, right? Obviously, there might be some judgments there, right? They might not be acting in such a way that you would like them. Maybe they're being unfair, maybe they're being cruel or even evil sometimes, but you are becoming unaffected by them, so it just doesn't affect you as much, and you get to the point where you're able to see like they're acting this way because they're crying out for love, right? Everything is kind of like fear-based and love-based, and unfortunately, this is hard work. It's really hard work. You get to a point where you really have to um, accept that, right? They're crying out for love. And yes, they may be affecting you, but the more you practice, the more you start to see this, like, why is this person acting like this? But still continue with the work, find your cords, release them, But again, do the analytical work on why they are there in the first place. And then next week, I'm going to talk about protection, because we still all do need protection, especially when a lot of us are empaths. That's what, the term is nowadays, where um, you almost don't have boundaries and you kind of let people feed off of your energy. And I think one of the main missions in an empath's life is to really um, live with our heart, live with love, but also really find our self-worth in it, right? Because I think a lot of us have stories where we've been hurt. We've always been in competition. We never felt we were good enough. So we end up becoming people pleasers. And then um, it seems like for some reason, because of that, these energetic vampires or these people that seem so cruel come into our lives, whether it's through friends, while you were growing up, or whether it's your parents or family members, or now as an adult, people are taking advantage of you still, right? So we need to learn from all of this, and there's like this bigger plan out there. So I will jump into additional methods that you can cut your cords with, but definitely watch last week's episode as well before you jump into this. So again, with anything, always state your intention that you're here to cut the cord if you know what it is from. So from this person, from this object, from this behavior, and call upon your angels, your ancestors, and your guides to join you. So I'm going to talk about a couple different methods. The first one would be Archangel Michael. I have used him in cord cutting meditations before. I'm not exactly sure why he is the angel to do cord cutting. I do know that he was in a lot of battles and he has a mighty sword, and he's really good for protection. And also we talked about before, if you ever have like electrical or plumbing problems, you can call upon him as well, and he will apparently fix the problem for you, or at least help you heal your appliances. So I'm not exactly sure why he's able to cut cords, but he can. So all you have to do is ask him, pray to him to assist you and to release any limiting cords that you have that bind you and whatever it is together, whether it's a person, a behavior, situation, or object. But again, you do have to acknowledge the lessons that you have learned from this person, like talk to him about it, and state that you're ready to release and let go, and ask that all of the cords are dissolved and transmuted to the highest good for both parties, and ask for forgiveness, right? And for peace to flow between the both of you, but also individually as well, and then visualize him cutting the cord. Another method you could use is a pendulum. So you would just imagine your cords to whatever it is, and you hold the pendulum in front of you and just allow it to start swinging. I actually don't know where mine is right now. Otherwise, I could have showed you this. But you can hold it over you can start it with like over your head, and you just imagine like really sharp, bright, loving light coming out of it, and then just move it slowly down your body and back up, and like do it very slow and very, with intention, right? I want you to do this with intention that your cords are being cut with the pendulum. Just hold it just a few inches in front of you, and then it should stop eventually, and then the cord will be cut when the pendulum stops swinging, or when you notice it perhaps go the other way. Like mine would be a yes, so it goes clockwise for yes, and then counterclockwise for no. So you can practice that. Another thing that is really good to do is using the violet flame. So the violet flame is very commonly associated with Saint Germain, who is an ascended master. So he is associated with the violet flame. And basically, the violet flame is kind of like the ultimate cleansing light, right? So it literally is just a violet flame. And there is a violet flame temple with Saint Germain. If you want to Google that, you can totally go in that route. I think Deborah King has a violet flame meditation. I have one as well somewhere. I could probably find that and attach that for you guys. But all you really have to do is start it out, if you want to use this method, is cleanse yourself, whether you shower, use salt, you can sage yourself, light a candle, right? Relax, center, look at the candle for a little bit, just let go of everything from the day. Move your attention to your heart chakra, and just imagine a very, very small violet flame starting off there. Okay, and then the longer you sit, just imagine the flame gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you are completely surrounded by the violet flame. So once you're surrounded by the violet flame, you want to call upon the energies of the violet flame to blaze through you. You can affirm, I am one with the violet flame. The violet flame flows through me and exists within me. All that is not needed is dissolving and transmuting into higher frequencies. So be it, and so it is. And then the process is complete when the actual flame, like your actual candle, stops, like it calms down. Like usually when you light it, it's almost like there's a wind in the room, even if you're in like a very still area. So you'll know that way by your candle flame. Another thing you can do is smudging. So it's like a smudge bath with either sage or cedar. So you just want to light that, put it in some type of bowl, or a lot of us use shells, but just be careful because usually the shells at the bottom tend to get hot. So you just want to be careful not to burn yourself. So you want to start washing the smoke over you and affirm, do over your head and say, pray that your thoughts may be pure. You do it over your eyes and pray that you may see the truth. Over your ears and pray that you may hear the truth. Over your throat and pray that you may speak the truth. Over your heart and pray that your heart be open and clear. And then you could do it over your entire body. Make sure to touch upon all of the chakras, right? And pray that my body be strong. And then pray that all of the cords will be released. And then you should end it by going to take a shower and using salt scrub. So these were the easiest methods that I have found that are more doable for you. Otherwise, like you'd probably have to go and purchase some stuff. So I just figured I would tell you the ones that are more attainable and easy and not time consuming to do. So again, always give gratitude at the end and recognize you're part of it, right? These cords, these people, these places, these situations, especially if you find yourself wanting to cut a cord to the past, if you're very nostalgic about certain times, it's, maybe the lesson now is that you really need to love yourself, accept yourself for who you are. There's always deeper meaning behind these cords. Okay, so if anyone needs help, please let me know. You can reach out to me, you can comment, you can email me, info@enchantedlivingspaces.com. You can also DM me if you want. But next week we're going to talk about protection because that is very important. I feel like a lot of us are very open, and sometimes that ends up affecting us, whether we end up getting sick or we get anxiety or we get a headache or it shows up, right? It shows up in some type of ailment on the body. So again, the cords will come back if you do not find the underlying meaning as to why they're there in the first place. So this is, again, shadow work. And I mentioned this last week as well. If you guys are interested in a very comprehensive 3-month journey through your first 3 chakras, as well as learning about your shadow self, I do have Soul Expansion School, which will start again in February of next year, and I only offer it once a year. So that would be your next step from there if you want to further investigate into this type of work. But I will see you guys next week, next Thursday, for protection methods. Again, if anyone has any questions, please let me know, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.